Shaquille O'Neal sends strong message to WNBA fans about Caitlin Clark. NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal has been vocal in his admiration for Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark, especially since she has showcased her undeniable talent in her rookie season. Shaq recently described Clark as the real deal for her resilience even when she's being roughed up by opposing teams. He also expressed his respect for her ability to make smart plays under pressure, adding that young girls should watch and learn from the Fever newcomer. With Clark giving a huge boost to the league, Shaq reiterated his previous stance that it's only right for WNBA players to get paid like NBA stars. Now it's time for equal pay, the former NBA MVP said in a report from USA Today's Lindsay Schnell. They've always been great, but the space they're in now, it's time for everybody to be getting equal pay. I would love to see one of them make 10-15. The 52-year-old Shaq, however, stressed that it's not a two-way street. Fans also have to do their part. You gotta keep going to the games, buying merch, you gotta keep doing all that stuff, and the more they do that, the more they'll get paid, the four-time champion added. $20 million a year, they deserve it. For years, WNBA players have batted for equal pay. The league, however, had struggled with profitability. But now, with Clark, fellow rookie Angel Reese, and other stars such as Aya Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Breanna Stewart, Nafisa Collier, and Jewel Lloyd at the forefront, the WNBA has enjoyed unprecedented success. Fans have shown love through high attendance and viewership numbers. But as Shaq said, they have to sustain the support or even expand it. WNBA Commissioner didn't hold back on controversial Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese fan rivalry. There's no doubt that the arrival of rookies Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese to the WNBA has drastically altered the landscape of women's basketball. The league is experiencing an unprecedented amount of attention this season, which is in large part to these two players, both of whom are backed by massive, passionate fan bases. And given the rivalry between Clark and Reese that stemmed from Reese's iconic taunt of Clark in the 2023 NCAA National Championship game, these two fan bases are often at odds with one another. Wild stat shows Iowa legend Caitlin Clark's massive impact on Indiana Fever. Clark, who has become one of the most talked about athletes in the nation, has not disappointed in her debut season with the Fever. Not only has she played well personally, she has helped lead the team to the WNBA playoffs. Before Clark, in their previous 83 games, the Fever had won just 18 total games. Since drafting Clark in just 36 games, they have won 19 games. While not all of that success can be contributed specifically to Clark, she has improved the team dramatically. Her playmaking skills have been just as important as her scoring ability. At just 22 years old, she has also handled the media quite well. There have been a ton of critics and haters. A lot of jealousy has been seen among many women in the WNBA. While the tribalism sometimes seen among Clark and Reese fans can often enter uncomfortable territory, WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert explained where it stems from during a September 9 appearance on CNBC's Power Lunch program. Now it seems on some social media channels to have taken a darker turn. A more menacing turn, CNBC anchor Tyler Matheson said to Engelbert about the fan rivalry regarding Clark and Reese. Where race has been introduced in the conversation, where sexuality is sometimes introduced into the conversation. How do you try and stay ahead of that or act as a league when two of your most visible players are involved, not personally it would seem, but their fan bases are involved in saying some very uncharitable things about the other, he asked. Well, the one thing that's great about the league right now, we do sit at this intersection of culture and sports and fashion and music. Like, the WNBA players are really looked at now as kind of cultural icons, Engelbert said. And when you have that, you have a lot of attention on you. There's no more apathy. Everybody cares. It is a little bit of that Bird magic moment, if you recall, from 1979, Engelbert added. When those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry, Engelbert added. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another. Engelbert concluded by saying, I always tell the players. If someone is typing something in social media and you wouldn't ask their advice, ignore it. It's a balance. But certainly from a marketing dollars, but corporate partners are stepping up to endorse these players much more so than they were 5 years ago.